Welcome back to 843 TV. Caroline Lovell joins Nikki Themidis and Dee Matthews. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. From
Bridges Preparatory School. And so when Bridges Prep opens in August for the 2017-2018 school year, you'll have students in kindergarten through 10th grade.
10th grade, exactly.
What, in your view, has been some of the biggest challenges in preparing for high school students?
I think basically two. One is that we have to ensure that we have the facilities to house the students.
Sure.
And our growth has been, you mentioned earlier, but our growth has been very good, very strong. And so the facilities have to be there to house the students. And then, of course, getting the teachers to teach the high school for the course subjects that we're offering and all.
Right.
So,
and the teachers are pretty essential in that.
they are very essential. And they have to be, when it's high school, it really is content.
Yes.
You know, and there's other added areas that we have to look for with AP courses, other things. So yes, it does become a struggle, but one that's Dr. Themidis handles very well.
And you currently have a program of studies that's on your website for high school students. Yes. I'm assuming Dr. I, you had some input on that, but who else contributed to that effort, and what's that all about?
Well, we pulled some board members together, some who had educational experience and some who didn't. We had teachers involved with that. We had a business operations person involved because she does some scheduling, myself, and so we sat down as a group. I kind of laid out, I'd looked at some of what the other schools were doing. You know, we're driven by the Carolina graduation requirements, so it's not like you can make everything up.
Sure.
So that was the foundation. So we brought to the table some ideas about what we should offer for next year for 10th graders for sure.
Right.
And that's pretty restrictive because you have to follow a sequence. It was really the difficulty was, how about the 11th and 12th grade, because we're projecting.
Right.
You know, where are we going to be facility-wise has a lot to do with what we offer. Where we are student-wise, because you know, depending on your student population is what you can offer, and finances. So we pulled everybody together. We had a really good, rich, discussion. It was, and I think, I'm not sure, but I think it was the first time that there was a discussion around curriculum with a lot of people,
Yeah.
which I'm used to. It's kind of like, what, really, you know? So but it was easy because everybody, they know how important that high school component is, and
Sure.
everybody wants to make sure it's successful. And we wanted to lay out a program. Now, are we ever going to be able to match the variety of courses some of the bigger high schools have with 900 or 1,200 kids? No, but we want to have a rigorous curriculum for the most challenging superstars, academic omnivores, and we want to have a regular college prep program. We're not going below college prep.
Right.
But we want to try to offer a variety of courses and opportunities for kids, dual enrollment down the road, AP classes down the road, that we can stand out and compete against anybody.
Sure.
And that's the goal.
Yeah. And Caroline, Dr. I mentioned some of the larger schools and some numbers associated with that. Bridges closed its new enrollment process in January for the 2017-2018 school year in January of 2017, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so how do your numbers look so far for that forthcoming school year?
Well, currently we have 582 students enrolled
Okay.
in our classes right now, and we are anticipating 629. Well, we were anticipating 629 for the fall.
Okay.
We actually have 678 enrolled.
Okay.
So we're about 50 over what we anticipated. So we're very excited about that. And we have about 11 slots open in K through 10, which is who we'll serve next year.
Great. And I guess this is just a question I have. Is there a concern about keeping high school students physically separated from, you know, the kindergarten or the first grade students? Is that something that comes into play when you talk about facilities and things like that?
We really have them separated at the present time. We have our, in the fall, 2017, 2018, the early childhood, kindergarten, first and second grade, will be located in one facility. 3rd through 7 will be located in another, and then the 8th, 9th, and 10th will be at a different location. Yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And the new building will be designed around that same model.
Sure.
Middle school, elementary, high school.
Sure.
Different areas.
Gotcha. So now I think that this is a subject that's in dire need to talk about, but teachers, you know, I think that teachers are some of the national treasures here in the United States, and schools are always seem to need good teachers. Are you still looking to hire some new teachers?
Well, we've done a lot of work on staffing. I've pretty much all filled my elementary positions that we have. I've got one more. I'm confident that will work out next week. We have hired a couple of we're doing some shifting. It's kind of a complicated thing. We're doing some shifting with staff. But I have 2 math openings, 2 science openings, the social studies and English. We filled the English. I'm ready to sign on the dotted line for this social studies teacher. I've got a fantastic science teacher and math teacher that are preparing their applications and letter of references. I've already chatted with them. If we can bring them on board, that is going to be a really strong nucleus. But right now, technically, I'm still looking for another math teacher and a science teacher, at least those 2. And the biggest challenge, I think, right now is a principal for the upper school. We really need an administrator for the 8th, 9th, and 10th grades. And so, we had some candidates, and we're still reviewing those. But it's the concentration for me has been on the staffing, because it doesn't make any difference if you have an administrator if you don't have the teachers.
Right,
so
right.
We're a little further along than I thought we would be, but math and science are still, needs.
All right. So if you're a teacher and looking for some opportunities, or actually if you're a teacher, thank you. And if you're looking for an opportunity, Bridges Prep would be a great place for you. Caroline, thank you for joining us.
Thank
Dee,
you.
Nick, if you could stick around for one more segment.
Sure.
Please stick around for one more segment of 843 TV.